It's a queen of information, mainstreaming clues to you about the holy royal family of human beings. This is part 2. Creation started with an ideal. In heaven, the Lord of the angels, in love with the sweetest angel in heaven, Angel Michelle, Venus, said, I want to touch her. There were stars. The angels are the stars in the sky. She was the evening star. So he willed the world to exist. And he willed Venus down to earth. And he came to earth with her. And his fellow angel, Gabriel, came to earth to be the architect of heaven on earth. Because these are heavenly beings. So that's how it started. With Bob Dylan's love for T. Michelle Birdsong. Now, in the last video, I explained that Eve's children saved her life, and also sing birdsong. Her son, current son, who bears Jimi Hendrix, Mozart, projected himself as Sly in the Family Stone, George Gershwin. So he's quite musical. She bears Beethoven. Okay, so I want to say that Awan, the first girl child, Melanie Lynn Spear, her current daughter, who brought 4 saints into the world, sent her mother a microwave, RCA microwave, and a Black & Decker, a small refrigerator, when her mother moved into this SRO, St. Francis of Assisi Residence 3. It saved her life because her mother is a lactose vegetarian for 50 years. And the food here makes her gag. So Melanie saved her life. A friend of hers, Sylvia Perone, bears Vivian Tyson, her spiritual female mentor, starved to death. She was the first raw person, a person that eats only raw food, that I heard of. She starved to death. So Melanie prevented her mother from starving to death because she could put food that she could eat and not gag in her refrigerator. You see there? And she can cook in the microwave. Her father brought her these wonderful blue corn tortilla chips that he eats with peanut butter. And they're so good. She just eats and eats and eats them. She gets a vegetarian sandwich from Subway, an Indian restaurant on 20th Street where the Sikh cab drivers eat. Dave Roberts goes there and gets her food. So, thank you, Melanie. And the thing is, it was a hardship because Melanie's raising 4 children. So she didn't have any money to spare, but she still sacrificed and gave her mother, a way to eat and keep living. Gurinder Singh keeps reminding her, keep track of the carbohydrates, the fats, and the proteins. Now, the master before Gurinder Singh, Charan Singh, told her to take multiple vitamins. Charan Singh is a baby in her womb. Ian Grewal, Birdsong. The father, Bob Dylan. So Charan Singh was telling his mother how to be healthy while she's carrying him. She conceived him listening to Bob Dylan sing Every Grain of Sand. Really, she didn't know she was conceiving a baby. She was just moving and feeling music, her voice, her fingering, Bob Dylan. Next thing you know, they say, you conceived this baby. That's the way babies are conceived, by the father thrilling the mother and triggering the body to go along with the mind. The mother thinks this is her perfect mate, and the body gives her a result, a baby, new life. Perfection begets perfection. Okay, what else? Oh, I talked about my mother driving me to the subatomic particle level. Well, and when my father, as a child, I prayed for my father because my mother didn't like me. She liked my sister, Helen. So it took 65 years, but my father showed up here at St. Francis of Assisi, where I live. I was homeless. I guess he was too. I know my mother, Queen Mary, was homeless for 2 years. This place helps the homeless, and by subsidizing their rent, and they have assets of $11 million, so they're doing all right. St. Francis, there's Robin Birdsong, the granddaughter. Let's see, how does this work? She was Queen Victoria, right, and she's a grandmother of Milton Harris, my father, who bears King George V. The point is this: when I got his vibe in writing group, I saw that he was to be respected somehow, even though he serves beverages at lunch and he hardly says a word. He's the most humble person here. And he wrote extraordinary pieces with mindfulness. And so I started respecting him. One day Rona said, "Brave man, don't talk to him like that," in the cafeteria. And so he thanked me later for standing up for him, And then one day I went up to him and I said, "You know what?" Because I wrote a piece once and he said, "Oh, you're talking about your soulmate." So I said, "Oh my, somebody understands my writing. I project myself as Albert Einstein, so I'm not understood by all." So I went up to him one day in the lunchroom and I said, "The sun is God." And then he was telling me how smart dolphins are. So anyway, we got a relationship. Now he comes to my room and listens to me. And it's cathartic for me because I don't have anybody to talk to but him. Nobody else understands me. Dr. Murdoch says, nobody understands you because there's never been anyone like you. He's St. Paul. That's who Dr. Murdoch is. His sister is his confidant. And she calls me the Queen of Information, Deborah Murdoch.